The Olympic Peninsula is the large arm of land in western Washington that lies across Puget Sound from Seattle. It is bounded on the west by the Pacific Ocean, the north by the Strait of Juan de Fuca, and the east by Hood Canal.Cape Alava, the westernmost point in the contiguous United States, and Cape Flattery, the northwesternmost point, are on the peninsula, comprising about 3,600 square miles. The Olympic Peninsula contained many of the last unexplored places in the contiguous United States. It remained largely unmapped until Arthur Dodwell and Theodore Rickson mapped most of its topography and timber resources between 1898 and 1900. Geography. The Olympic Peninsula is home to temperate rainforests, including the Hoh-Queets rainforest and Quinault. Rainforest vegetation is concentrated primarily in the western part of the peninsula, as the interior mountains create a rain-shadow effect in areas to the northeast, resulting in a much drier climate in those locales. The Olympic mountain range sits in the center of the Olympic Peninsula. This range is the second largest in Washington state. Its highest peak is Mount Olympus. Major salmon-bearing rivers on the Olympic Peninsula include, clockwise from the southwest, the Humphchilips, the Quinault, the Queets, the Quileute, Bogachiel, the Solduck, the Lyre, the Elwha, the Dungeness, the Doswarlips, the Hammer, the Skokomish, and the Winoochee River. Natural lakes on the peninsula including Lake Crescent, Lake Ozark, Lake Sutherland, Lake Quinault, and Lake Pleasant. Two dammed rivers form the reservoirs of Lake Cushman and Winoochee Lake. Two previous reservoirs, destroyed in the Elwha ecosystem restoration, included Lake Caldwell and Lake Mills. The peninsula contains many state and national parks, including Anderson Lake, Bogachiel, Doswarlips, Fort Flagler, Fort Worden, Kitsap Memorial, Lake Cushman, Manchester, Mystery Bay, Old Fort Townsend, Potlatch, Sequim Bay, Shine Tidelands, and Triton Cove State Parks, Olympic National Park, and the Olympic National Forest. Within the Olympic National Forest, there are 5 designated wilderness areas: the Brothers Buckhorn, Colonel Bob, Mount Skokomish, and Wonder Mountain. Just off the west coast is the Washington Islands Wilderness. A major effort called the Wild Olympics campaign is underway to protect additional wilderness areas on the Olympic National Peninsula, protect salmon streams under the Wild and Scenic River Act, and provide a means for Olympic National Park to offer to buy land adjacent to the park from willing sellers. Clallam and Jefferson counties, as well as the northern parts of Grays Harbor and Mason counties, are on the peninsula. The Kitsap Peninsula, bounded by the Hood Canal and the Puget Sound, is an entirely separate peninsula and is not connected to the Olympic Peninsula. From Olympia, the state capital, U.S. Route 101 runs along the Olympic Peninsula's southern edge and up the western and northern shorelines. Climate: most of the peninsula has an oceanic climate, or CFB, under the Köppen climate classification. Most populated areas, however, have a warm summer Mediterranean climate, or CSB. Politics. The Olympic Peninsula is represented in the U.S. House of Representatives by Derek Kilmer. Gallery. Cities and towns. Population of at least 15,000 Port Angeles. Population of at least 10,000 Shelton.